What's up, mathletes? Today we're going to learn how to use basic arithmetic functions in Adobe Illustrator. So let's get started. Let's create a new Illustrator file. I'm going to name this math. For the width and the height, I'm going to choose 1000 pixels by 1000 pixels. Change those units here, and everything else is default. If you want your workspace to look like mine, you can go to Window, Workspace, and hit Essentials Classic. I'm just going to reset mine. All right. The first thing that we're going to do is pretend that I have a client. I know, right? But let's say this client wants to get a photo printed at the full width of this artboard. So let's just place the photo here. We can go to the transform panel up here. And my artboard is 1000 pixels, so I'm just going to type in 1000 by 1000. And we can see it update there. And yeah, there's no real math there, so I'm gonna now constrain the transform panel. That way it manipulates the width and the height at the same time. And let's say the client has come back and says they want this photo 4 times on this artboard. If you were dumb like me, you would divide by 4, but that's wrong. As you can see, it gets too small. You actually want to divide by 2 because it divides by 2 on the width and it divides by 2 on the height. And 2 and 2 equals 4. It's not that obvious, right? But now you can see that we have this perfectly cut into quarters. So our client is happy, and there's no space on the sides, and we didn't have to really do any math. We just got to type it in like a calculator. So that's one function. But it can do all of the mathematical functions. Let's say we just wanted to add 100 pixels to both sides. That now updated to 600. We can do minus 400 pixels, and that will update on both sides to this 200. We can multiply it by 5. That'll punch it back up to 1000. So I think I did all of them. We'll just divide it by 2 again. So yeah, it can do all of that math for you. But something interesting that Illustrator can do, it can also switch and mix up the units that are used. So right here on the y-axis, we are at 0 pixels. Let's say that the client wanted it to move 1 inch for some reason. You could type in literally 1 inch, and it will calculate that amount for you, which in this case is 72 pixels. You could do minus 2 inches. Minus 72 now. Or you could like mix up all types of stuff like 12 point. I don't even know what that would be. It can do all types of weird stuff. Plus 1 yard. Maybe it'll calculate that. Yeah, it did. So yeah, there's all types of stuff that you could mix up and kind of do just depending on what the client needs. So that's kind of the cool part of this tip. Let's just show one more example of how this could be used a little bit more practically. I'm going to go to the rectangle tool. We're going to create an accurate bar graph. So this is something that may not be obvious. For the width, I'm going to choose 100 pixels. I just clicked in the artboard to get this dialog box to come up. Let's just show that again. Rectangle tool. I'm just going to click in here, and you get the dialog box. You don't actually draw. Okay, so yeah, for the width and the height, I'm going to choose 100 pixels by 1000 pixels. And let's change this one red. Okay, in this example, this red bar is going to represent 100%. Pull this in just a little bit more. And now I'm going to just create some copies. Let's change this one to yellow. We'll just kind of go down to the default swatches. Do that one pink. Okay, so for this one, let's just pretend this one is going to be 50%. Pretend this one's going to be 33, so a perfect third. We'll do 25 for this one. Let's just do a real oddball low percentage for this one. Okay, so now that we know that this one represents 100%, we can just go to the transform panel like before. Let's unconstrain, and now we can just do 50% of this 100, or yeah, I like to do it just multiply zero point 0.5 is 50%. Let's actually, I'm gonna constrain this from the bottom. There we go. So multiplied by zero point 0.5, and now we have that cut in half, which is 50%. And we can do the same with all of these. Point multiplied by 0.33, 33%. Multiplied by 0.25, 25%. And now we have the real oddball multiplied by 0.02. We have that tiny 2% here. So yeah, now this is an accurate bar graph, which comes up pretty often in professional work. They want those bar graphs to look accurate. But yeah, that is the end of this tutorial. Hope you learned something. Yeah, these are just a couple of cool tricks that might not be obvious to beginners or even intermediate designers. So yeah, let me know if you like this video. If you want to see more like it, like and subscribe if you want to. I don't really care. Thanks for watching. Bye.